Hey guys, Kevin Rogers, welcome to the channel. Reading your comments, getting the feedback. Love the topics you guys have been bringing up for some videos. We'll get those done. A lot of people want to see the Livescope, right? It's about the Livescope. They want to see the settings. They want to see how we're running our Livescope, how to get it clear, how to get it clear. I've tried to do the Active Captain, and it's hard to capture what you want on Active Captain. I think I've come up with a way to where I can shoot videos in the back of the boat. I have them linked together. The Bass Tank linked my Garmin units up together, so I have found a way I can shoot videos from the back of the boat, showing you the Livescope, showing you the jig falling down. So I got to do that. I got to get that incorporated in these videos. Sitting here watching me just set the hook and catch fish, that's fun for me. I love setting the hook. But for you guys to learn and become better crappie fishermen, or even anglers for that fact, I got to do a better job of showing you the screen. So while I'm fishing up front, I've come up with a way that I can have a GoPro showing you the screen and back. Active Captain just doesn't cut it. It's not good enough. It's not interactive. I can even be talking with the microphone up front while you're watching the screen in the back. So I'll get that done. I'm editing videos here. I shot a video here in late November down at Lake of the Pines that I'd like to share with you now. It's about big baits. So this week's episode is about big baits, right? The new craze is, and everyone asks me, saying, well, what kind of rig are you using when you're live scoping? And I don't know what that means. I mean, I understand what people are asking me. For 30 years, I've been fishing a lead head and a big bait. And I love big baits. You can just feel so much better with a large bait. Now, when I'm doing this, I've been doing this all over the country. I'm fishing dirty, dingy water. This isn't going to work up in Canada. It's not going to work in Minnesota, Wisconsin when you're crappie fishing through the ice, because this is what I consider power fishing for crappie. And that's what we're doing in this video. Everything has its place and time. You know, the new craze is this little bitty 30-second 64,000 hair jigs, and there's a reason for that with this Livescope. But there's still a time and a place for everything. There's still a time and a place to use these large baits, and I found one there at the end of November down in Texas, and I was using the 1/4 ounce Warhead with the brand new Afterburner. It's the bait I came out with from Bobby Garland. You'll see in this video this apple bottom, this green on yellow, bright colors. First thing in the morning, bright colors are amazing. This is our go-to, and here's the video now. Watch it. There's some massive fish, massive schools. I think I end up catching. There was 2 trees I found. I wish that's where I need that Active Captain so you could see the fish positioned in this tree. There were 2 trees I ended up catching 17 crappie out of one tree and 19 crappie out of the next. We're talking about crappie between 1.25 pounds and 2 pounds out of these trees. So pretty cool, and that's all by using these large baits, and we'll talk about it as we go through the video here. So big baits still work in certain times of the year. Don't give up on these big baits. So much easier to control. And I hear you on the topics and the things you want to see on the channel. We'll get that to you. I'll do a better job. It's dead of winter now. It's the day after Christmas, and I'm adding to this video for this footage that I shot. We'll get some cool things on the Garmin Livescope. We'll walk through our setups. We'll do all that. We'll get all that here on the channel for you guys to learn. That's what this is for. This isn't for me to go. I'm going fishing no matter what. But as I'm going, I might as well teach you guys what I've learned in my short time using the Livescope, and then how to break down a lake. We've got questions all the way from explain what the creek channel is to us. We don't have people that understand what the creek channel is. So I need to back up and get off the advanced stuff and just walk through some simple steps. We'll do that as well. But here you are. Big baits equal big crappie.
Oh, baby. Oh, my God. Hold on. First drop of the morning. Ooh. Ooh, I can see him on the Livescope. Come on, footlock. Come on, footlock. Ah. Boom. Wow. Yeah, everybody over here using 32nd ounce hair jigs. If they want something big, give them something big. Golly. How big do you think that fish is? Woo! Holy moly! Oh! Clear my scale. Get him wet. Tonight we ride. You rock me, baby. Come into. Start our day with a 227. Gulped it. Gone. Oh boy. Oh, it's a big old black one. Big old black one. Big old black one. Got some sores on him. Check him out. Ah, I got the braid wrapped around. Big baits. Catching big fish. Everyone's on this hair jig craze. And yes, hair jigs are amazing because we're looking at these fish now. And when they're spooky, those big baits push too much water. But gosh dang, if they want a big bait, give it to them. So much easier to fish. No leader, I'm tying directly on, 15-pound braid. That's a nice black crappie there. Blacks and whites living on the same trees, black species, white species. I don't know that I've caught a hybrid here. 1 3/4 black crappie. What time is it? It's 9 o'clock. The sun's not straight up yet, so I'm still going with that bright apple bottom. We'll use some different colors, 1/4 ounce head, put it in their face. Boom! There's like 3 more down there with it. Golly. Crunching. White one. 3 more down there. Down to 4. 191. Oh, that was it. Something else this 1/4 ounce head does. I mean, these fish are 20 foot down. They're 20 to 22 foot down. It's allowing me to get down there a lot faster. There's no fish in between the top of the surface and 22 foot, so why fish there? Get down there as fast as you can. It's dingy, it's deep. They do not care about these big heads. They're eating it. Just fish faster. The more drops you make, the better odds are you're going to catch more crappie. All.
As you can see, guys, in the video, I'm using this apple bottom and a 1/4 ounce head. And the way I rigged this bait, most people would rig this bait with the tail down like this and let that tail flat behind with this segmented body. This is the Afterburner. I was actually rigging it the other way. I was actually rigging it with the tail sitting vertical in the water column. And the reason I was doing this So I was rigging it sideways and letting that tail sit like this. The reason I was doing that, we're fishing 20 to 22 foot down in the water column. And that's what I said in the video. The quarter ounce, there was no fish between the surface and 18 feet. That's barren. There's just a dead sea. There's no fish there. So if I was to be using this 16th ounce and it was falling from the surface and all the way down to 20, it would take 3 times as long to get down there as this quarter ounce head. Why not use the bigger head? Get down there as fast as you can. The faster you can get down there, the more chance you have of catching fish. So that's why I choose the larger. A lot of people still don't understand the large lead heads for crappie fishing. Every day I go, I start with a quarter ounce head. Every day I go, I start with quarter. And if they're not biting it, you can tell immediately with this Livescope if they're going to react to these baits or not, right? You're going to throw that down there and you're going to see how it reacts to this. If they're not reacting to that, yeah, you go to something a little smaller, a little finessier, like this 16th ounce warbird. But if they're eating this big bait, I want to give it to them. So that's one of the reasons for the quarter ounce, is to get down to those fish as fast as humanly possible. The faster you can get down there, the better your odds are of catching a fish. And these trees down here at Lake of the Pines are all flooded old cypress trees. So they still have a lot of the nubs and where the limbs used to be, or they actually have limbs on them. So having that weight above here with the bobber stops and then the weight down here, it's just too much to get hung up. I mean, down there I prefer just a single old school jig tied directly to the head, and that's how we caught these fish. That's how I'm going to fish in Texas until after the post spawn or summertime when they get real finicky and you got to downsize to the little bitty stuff like this here. That's not the case in the winter. These fish are eating. So larger lead heads, couple things, a lot more control. You can feel it so much better than this little bitty guy. So wintertime, don't be afraid of the big baits. So give that a try next time you're wintertime crappie fishing.
Little one. Well, getting bigger. Not little, yeah. Little lure. Still rocking that apple bottom. Fell right out. Quarter ounce head. Got something cool. It's a bait. Alright, take it off here so you can see it. It's the Afterburner bait. It's my signature series bait through Jenko Fishing. It's got a segmented tail right here. I've cut the tail so it'll wobble. I'm actually rigging this thing like a minnow shit. Instead of doing this right now, because I want to get down there, that slows down the fall. I'm trying to get down there as fast as I can. It's the color they're seeing, not so much the action. They're eating big bait right now, big shad. You can see shad everywhere. I mean, large shad, like 3 to 4 inches. So that's why I've chosen this bigger bait. And Lake of the Pines, Texas in general, is known for giant baits. Catch giant crappie. Crappie are mean down here. So rigging that with the tail sitting this way. It's like a minnow. Shark is minnow. Sunglasses that. Break him things.
Since I was a child.
Nah, they're stacked. They're all black crappie. Look at that. Every one of them is going to be black. Look how fat he is. Golly. There's got to be 40 crappie on this thing. They're all black species. They're all schooled up. Come on, get out of there. Jeez. get back in there. I want to get back in there. You can get 50 crappie off this one spot. Guarantee it. Unbelievable. Oh, big old black one. Golly. Woohoo! Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Big old black one. All right. Cold winter day out here in Texas. The whole video I wanted to show was giant lures for crappie. I've been doing that my whole career. With the invention and the explosion of Livescope, we're seeing that fish relate and react to different baits. There's still a time and a place for big baits. I'm telling you, it may not be, you know, dead of summer when they're finicky or right in the middle of spawn. But this wintertime stuff, these fish are doing one thing and one thing only, and they are feeding. Afterburner was our #1 bait. The rubber, the plastic outperformed the warbirds today. I got 1/4 ounce warbirds that I tried. Dropped that on there. They wouldn't react to it as much as they did the afterburners. They were attacking these afterburners like they wanted to eat them. Got to team it up with a 1/4 ounce Warhead. That's my signature series hook from Jenko. These are great. These hooks will not bend out, but around timber they're a little sticky, so you gotta be careful. There's no bending, there's no flexing, so if you get around timber it'll get hung up. So be mindful of that. But you will not, these fish, you know, we're hammering these fish in, you know, 22 foot of water right on the timber, and just bringing them straight out of there. Just set and hook and bring them straight in. There's no way you're gonna White Knight was a good color for us. White Knight, that's just white and pearl, and man, Old Faithful. If I go somewhere and I do not know what I should be throwing or what I should start with, I go with blue chartreuse. These big baits still have a time and a place. We were tying directly on, no leader, no nothing. So hand-to-hand combat, big baits. There's still a time and a place. Thank you guys. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and let us know what kind of videos you would like for us to do. I'm going fishing.
Something to remember too, guys, you're not going to go out if your lake and you got visibility of 10 to 15 foot. This isn't going to work, right? This isn't going to be a good presentation for you. You got to realize that I'm going out and I love finding dirty, dingy, stained water. That's how I like to crappie fish. What that water allows these fish to do is react to the bigger baits, right? So crystal clear water, like I fished out at Table Rock this year at the Wally Marshall Expo. At Table Rock, never Table Rock crappie fish Table Rock in my life. There's no way those fish are going to hit this at Table Rock. That water's way too clear. Everyone in the tournament was downsizing to this. So you got to know the lakes, and people say, well, how do I know? Well, first of all, the first tip I could give you is look at the watercolor. Watercolors are going to tell you a lot about the fishery you're at, and you can have a lake like my home lake at Truman Lake where it's clear down by the dam, and the farther you get up in the river, you know, this would be more down by the dam, and as farther you go up in that river where the water is turbid and the water's flowing in and keeps it stained, I mean, two different applications on the exact same lake. I always tend to go for the dirtier, dingier water, so I can do hand-to-hand combat with these big, giant lures. That's just what I like to do. But so if you're living in North Carolina on High Rock, or if you're living somewhere in Minnesota or Wisconsin just isn't going to work for you 95% of the time. It's going to be more of a finessey cripe, typical 2-pound fluorocarbon, stuff like that. Fishing here in the Midwest, I have the opportunity to fish dirty, dingy lakes. So that's why I go for the bigger baits. So not everyone's just going to run out and throw 1/4 ounce lead heads for crappie. I understand that. Everything has its place and time. That's keep an open mind when you're crappie fishing. So dirty, dingy, good word, is good place to start for these bigger baits.
Giant black crappie. Oh, he's thick. Wow. Wow, that's a 245. Holy crap. 245 black. It's the same tree. There's like 30 of them down there. Almost put him right there. Black nose. Oh, what kind of black nose? Look at that racing stripe down his nose. Look at that. Run, run. I don't know that I've ever caught a black nose. Here. Beautiful black nose crappie. I gotta get back in there. I can't. Gotta go. Gotta go. Boom! Golly, that is fun. We choked it. Dang, bud. Golly. Heaven up there. Can't make this stuff up. Wintertime crappie. If you don't crappie fish in the wintertime, man, you are missing out. You are missing the boat, man. hopped up in the tree. Come on out of there. Oh, this is crazy. Oh, big baits, guys. Big baits. Oh, crap.
Here you go, guys. There's a video. Hope you enjoy that. Boy, I sure enjoy like catching them crappie in that deep water. I wish I had, at the very end there, I had some trees that were loaded with crappie. That doesn't happen very often for me, so that's a wintertime thing. Usually you don't see them fish schooled up in one tree like that in the spawn or post spawn. So that's what I need to get on Active Captain for you. You can see in the video a lot of drops, right? In the wintertime, they're not real active because their body's cold, their metabolism's slow, and you gotta put, I keep saying, you gotta put this thing in their nose. You got to learn to drop this thing in their nose. You got to learn the head from the tail of the fish too. And that's just a lot of time on the water. You got guys out here fishing every single day guiding on this Livescope. These guys are experts. They're 3 times better than I am, right? Because I actually have a full-time job. I got to go to work when these guys are out here looking at this Livescope. But the more you stare at it, the more you'll learn. I mean, it is where I can drop my lure now and see the way the crappie's body reacts, and I know if he's going to bite it or not. May not catch him, but I can tell if he's going to bite that lure just by their body movement. That's what guys are figuring out. They're seeing the tendencies of these fish. But boy, learning the nose from the tail sure is going to help you. The last thing you ever want to do if you see a fish on Livescope is drop that thing past them. Unless they're real aggressive, they're going to run from you, right? But drop that thing down. I like, 4 or 5 inches away. I just keep getting closer until I can see the reaction of his body. So that's a tip I can give you. Never drop past, always drop down and then go slow. And it's hard sometimes to get it right on their nose, and then multiple pitches. And people I go with my wife or a kid, and the thing I got to tell them, you just got to keep picking it up and dropping it until that drop is exactly on his nose, right? If you're over here, especially in the winter, not going to do you any good. If you're that far away, very few in the wintertime are going to come get it. So it's important to be dropping this thing right on their nose. That's the tip I can give you for Livescope. That's what I've found. That's almost year-round, but especially in the wintertime for these cold water crappie. So thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you subscribe to the channel. We'll have a lot more cool stuff coming out. We're also going to do some bass stuff, and I know the crappie guys are going to hate the bass stuff. The bass guys are going to hate the crappie stuff. I love it all. I love fishing. So I'm also going to document our adventure into this bass fishing league, so National Professional Fishing League. I'm excited about that. But now it's wintertime. It's time for me to go crappie fishing. You can catch some absolute giants in the wintertime. If you don't wintertime crappie fish and you only go in the springtime, stop that. Get you some warm AFTCO freshwater gear and go winter fishing. Happy holidays to you. Hopefully 2021 is a lot better than 2020, and we'll have a lot more videos coming up. Thank you.